Hello and welcome to an Not So Awesome review, and today we're looking at the Marvel Legends Superior Octopus action figure part of the Demogoblin Build-A-Figure wave, and I have mixed feelings about this figure because he is one that I really like. I think the design on him is really good. I think the body they used on him is really good. Not sure exactly which body mold this is. Again, missed out on some figures a while back, and I'm still catching up, but it's really good. He doesn't have the upper joint, instead he has that ball joint for the upper diaphragm, which I think works pretty good for him. Can't lean back too much. We'll get that in. We'll get into that during the articulation part. But detail wise, with the little things on the gloves, looks really good. I think the gray and the black and the green all look really well on him. The eyes, especially the mask, I really like it. The paint job on him is pretty darn clean. Of course, not everything's gonna be perfect. Always check the boxes, yada yada. But overall, this one, good, liked it. Tentacles, which is probably what most of the people are wondering about. These little things right here. We were promised bendy wire, and it is technically bendy wire. I will give them that. It is bendy wire. It does bend. You can bend it into shapes that you want. The thing is, they're not really gonna hold that shape, and they're gonna want to bend back to the way they were in the package. Not only that, they fall off really easily. You can move them back and forward like so, and you can, interchange them between all of them. Like I said, they pop off pretty easily. They're not the greatest. I wish they were better. I'm sure people in the community are going to find a way to make their own, like they did with the regular Doc Ock figure. As you can see, the backpack that plugs in all four right there. It's like nothing too hard. There's just a peg hole. Put it in, and there you go. The little claw things, they're a little bendy, so they won't break on you if you accidentally crush it, or I would say if you step on it, but I don't know, don't quote me on that. They do have their own movement right there, so they can go around. Like I said, though, you can't just drop something. Sorry about that, but yeah, you can't really get them into very specific extreme shapes. I mean, you can bend it around, yeah, but again, it'll just try and bend back to the way it was, which, again, disappointing, sucks. It is what it is. Figure-wise, like I said, he looks good. I love the silver on the gloves right there. It looks really good. I do have one complaint. I wish he came with another fist. I like the open hand thing. It looks good. It's a nice little kind of little pose right there with it. Reminds me of a force choke or something. I wish it was a fist because I don't know. I feel like every action figure should at least come with a pair of fists by default. And yeah, that's it. We want to get these two hands. It's not like we can change these out with the other Spider-Man hands or anything because they have all this armor on there. So that's disappointing. Aside from that, good figure. No alternate head, though you can fit the regular Peter Parker head on here if you want to. Though I'm pretty sure he looks different in the comic books. I don't remember. Even though he's like a kind of clone. I don't know. It's weird. The whole story. It's a story. But yeah, anyways, let's move on to some articulation. So again, I'm going to take the backpack off because I know it's going to get in the way. You can see it is 2 peg holes here, 2 peg holes there. Just plug it in, plug the things in. They can come off, and you can have just the backpack on there, which, I mean, I do like the idea of being able to take all of these off like so, and just having the backpack on there and just being like, okay, he has them retracted. That's how he is. He has his backpack ready to go out. Of course, the holes are exposed, but I don't know. I think it's decent enough for that. So, articulation-wise, head can look up that much, which isn't bad at all. Look down all the way, which is great. Pivot side to side somewhat, all the way around right there. Arms can go up that high, down, all the way around. Back that much, love it. Forward that much, it's great. Upper bicep rotation, double jointed elbow, which is great. It's not... I feel like the last figure we did was really good. One of the last figures we did. I don't know. One of them went all the way. This, he does have a little bit of muscle, so it does stop him, but that's still really good. Rotation at the wrist. These are little floaty pieces. They move around. They can come off. Then movement back and forward. And then he can't lean back. That's my only real complaint about the body he's on, is that he can't really lean back. But he can lean forward a good amount, and he can pivot side to side. And I would almost prefer this for the Spider-Man bodies, aside from the fact that he can't lean back in Spider-Man. I mean, I know it's Doc Ock, but I mean, you know where I'm going with this. I wish he could lean back right there. Yeah. Anyways, rotation at the waist, kick forward, Can't kick back too much. Leg goes out, decent enough. Rotation, again, double jointed knees that do really well. Does have that boot rotation, and forward, back, and ankle pivots. And yeah, again, hand does bug me a little bit because I feel like it limits posing when he has that hand like that. But let's see if we can get him into like a standard superhero pose or something. I don't know. I'm just like kind of going with the flow here. But yeah, he is definitely a fun figure to pose. I do like him. He looks really good. I don't know. Again, just the tentacles are the really big disappointment of this. Bendy wire, yeah, but not bendy enough. I'm sure if you like formed it one way you wanted to, heated it up, cooled it off, maybe it would stick, but again, I don't know. It's a disappointment. Really wish they could have done a better job with it. Overall, articulation-wise, though, aside from the leaning back, really good, really like it. I think it would be great for other Spider-Man figures. I wouldn't be surprised if I'm like kind of missing out here. Maybe it was a different Spider-Man figure. I don't know. Again, if anybody knows what body mold this is from, or if it's a new one, let me know. But yeah, really quick, I do want to show that you can just pop off the head, no problem. And if you really wanted to, you can, let's see, there we go, pop on the Peter Parker head, which looks good enough for me. I like that. Honestly, I would actually put on the beat up one and have Spider-Man beat him up. I think that would be great. But yeah, it fits on great. I did try doing the Cosmic Spider-Man head, which I believe is the same as the Kane head or something, or one of the Scarlet Spider heads, but it didn't want to fit on. I'm pretty sure I could have forced it on if I tried hard enough, but it definitely did not want to go on easy, so I decided just to leave it. But yeah, looks good nonetheless. Anyways, let's get on to some size comparisons and wrap this video up. So first off, here he is compared to his old self, and honestly, I don't know. I feel like I prefer these over these. I get it, the size in them looks really good. I like that they're somewhat bendy. But at least with these ones on the right, I could hold up Spider-Man or a figure or whatever with them, you know, position them just right so I can at least get them carrying something. With the other ones, they just kind of flop around. That again, that's going to be my biggest complaint about this figure. Otherwise, I do really like it. But yeah, I kind of prefer these over these here. And I do want to mention, before I completely forget, is that these are on an angle. You can kind of see right there. They are meant to go in, I think, a certain direction. It doesn't really help it too much because they do decide to start falling. But yeah, there we are. You can see he's a little bit taller than the original Otto Octavius there. I was going to switch the head to see how that looked, but it's, yeah, it's definitely not going to look right. So I'm not even going to bother, and we're just going to move on. For a quick Spider-Man comparison, here's next to the Mary Jane 2-pack Spider-Man, which is actually the suit he wore the first time he confronted him in the comic books. So I thought it would be appropriate to put it here. And yeah, when I was going through the figures right now, that crotch area, leg area is definitely the Vulture's version. I do have the other Spider-Man here. They are slightly different. His hips are kind of a little bit better articulated, so his legs can go out more, which is what Vulture has. So I just want to kind of put that little tidbit in there in case anyone's wondering. But yeah, they do look good together. I like it. I think posing these two is, you know, going to be something fun eventually. Kind of want to do something with that. But yeah, there we go. You can see the... I almost want to say he's a little bit taller, but honestly, not by much. They're almost the same size. Obviously, his body is a little bit more beefed up and stuff. It looks, you know, a little bit different, but other than that, really good, really like it. Both great figures. Moving on. And just for comparison's sake, here he is next to the Gameverse Spider-Man, and you can see both of them are pretty beefed up. Again, you know, the legs are very similar. Crotch pieces are definitely different, though. Bodies are completely different articulation and everything. Heads are even different. I almost for a second thought that Superior Octopus's head was one of the Scarlet Spiders, the newer one, but the head is just slightly skinnier, slightly different. So I'm assuming that's a new head sculpt, especially since the eyes are kind of like molded in. I thought maybe it could be a modified version of it, but I'm pretty sure it's just new all the way around. But yeah, again, nice seeing them together. We're going to see more of this guy as we get into the Spider-Man reviews pretty soon. Don't know if I'm going to review them or one of the other figures first. We'll see how that goes. And lastly, here he is next to the original Superior Spider-Man. You can see the big difference in just like quality of figure since that one came out. Good figure. I like it. I'm glad I have it. It's around when I started collecting. Really like the suit, but we never got like a full-fledged version of that suit with the arm gauntlet little thingy he had, or his backpack what he had with the tentacle thingies, but they were spider ones, and it was really cool. I really hope we get a version of that, or just an updated version of this one with all that stuff, and a newer body, of course, that's a more proper height. I don't know, I feel like he looks a lot shorter. Maybe it's just the way he's slanted or something. Still, either way, cool to have both of these. Moving on. So overall, not a bad figure. Yes, the tentacle thingies, whatever you want to call them, the little arms. Yeah, Bendy Wire, you're going in the right direction, Hasbro. I really do appreciate the effort, but I can't really do much with them. I'm sure people can pose them, you know, accordingly. I'm sure there's going to be creative people getting, like, their use out of them, and it's going to be great. It's going to be awesome. But I do wish they could hold their form when you could move them. That's what I was really hoping for, and it's just, it slightly missed the mark there. But other than that, it's a really good, solid figure. I do wish you could lean back a little bit more, but aside from that, articulation I think is great. I think this figure is definitely worth it. I do like it. I'm glad we got this suit. I'm glad we got this version of Doc Ock, because it's actually one of my favorite versions we've seen in a while, and it definitely just helps round out kind of the whole Spider-esque suits that we've been getting. I think it was a great choice to go with this and not do a like third game versus Spider-Man for this wave. I'm hoping we get some game versus villains though. I'm gonna put that out there right now before we get into that review, because you know we have 3 Spider-Men that we have no villains for him to go with. But I will say, just because I'm thinking about it, I'm gonna mention it in the next review, or whenever I do the Spider-Man reviews. It does feel like we could do our own Spider-Man Hall of Suits, kind of like Tony Stark Hall of Iron Man. You can even put this guy in there and it looked pretty cool. But yeah, anyways, I'm just rambling on here, so I'm gonna finish this video by saying thank you for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you all later. Goodbye.